Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 4. There are 6 seasons of the show, man. That's crazy. Anyway, last episode, Twice died. No more seasons for him. It was sad.
It was hard to kind of bring all my feelings together and identify them.
Yeah.
Because I was sad. I was impressed by Hawks. I thought Hawks did awesome. Like, that was really freaking cool. Like, I kept thinking Hawks was gone or down for the count, you know, and then he did it. And I was rooting for him, but I was also like, ooh, but Twice is like the most lovable of the villains.
Do you have any less love for Hawks now that he was the one to kill Twice? And Twice is so lovable.
No, because of how many times Hawks attempted to save Twice.
Gotcha. I think that's a good answer.
Like, Hawks even, like, got his wings burnt, basically, and put himself at a major disadvantage against Dobby, against the person he identified as being the worst quirk matchup with him.
Yeah.
To attempt, like, 5 times to convince Twice not to fight back. And to, I guess, I don't know what Hawks had planned, but he was, I guess, hoping that he could lessen Twice's sentence and or reform Twice or something.
Maybe. I have weird feelings going forward because obviously we just lost a character on the villain side who is very beloved, right?
Of both, yeah, of us and the villains.
Yeah, so it kind of makes me feel like the heroes are going to take an L this episode.
Can you imagine, like, Twice was literally the character that, like, you could have killed multiple of the other villains, and I don't think it would have, like, rallied the troops as much as, like, killing Twice. If you killed Toga, that would rally Twice, but killing Twice rallies them all, basically.
I agree with you. Who's there? So I was, like, my instinct was like, oh, Mirko, fuck. I don't want her to die. She's gonna die. But then I'm like, okay, she already got hurt really bad that we saw. I know the fight isn't done, but she's not where Twice is. Like, I would think it would be something taken from the same site. Maybe. I don't know. I just...
intimidating because we have students there still, probably.
Yeah. Oh, we do. I think we do. But
Would they take an L with, like, a nameless hero? Or would it be a hero that we know and love?
I'm not scared for Hawks at the moment. I think he's out and safe for the moment. I don't know if there's anybody else there that I think they'd take from us, though. So I think that maybe it might happen on the Endeavor Mirko side.
I think I agree with you that would be if we were going to have the loss of someone in a battle, I think that kind of location, setting, and scenario feels better to me.
Yeah. I feel like we might be less prepared there because of the amount of Nomu than we are here at the moment. I don't know, though.
I mean, like, we went into this building having basically a list, a roster of some of the quirks that would be maybe the most difficult to come up against, and we knew that some of the League would be here.
Yeah.
So I think that these heroes are possibly more prepared.
Yeah.
Especially with Shigaraki out of the picture, you're not going to have so-and-so waking up, you know? Tokoyami was like, there's something down there.
Yes, that's very true. If Shigaraki does wake up, that's it, right? Like, whether it's early or not. Because...
For both sides.
Yeah. I think that is a potential way that they could go, because there's no way they're closing this out. They're not ending this here.
That would create issue on both locations.
On 2 fronts. Yeah, exactly.
Which would be a pretty big, exciting, action-packed addition to the story. And
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
It'd be scary.
Yes, it would be scary.
You ready?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. God.
Probably one of the most useful quirks that I've heard of.
But
Fire.
Like they did at the end of season 4.
Oh, yep.
There's
Look at all of them. Now they're all there.
That taxi!
Private owned taxi.
Mount Lady in the
Mount
back.
Lady in the back.
That looked like Dobby, right?
Fire.
That's when Hawks did the roundabout?
That might have been exactly when Hawks kind of dipped out that window.
That would make sense why Tokiyami's worried. I mean, he sees fire. They just had the monologue about how it's weak to fire. I wonder if this is Tokiyami trying to go back to save Hawks.
Maybe, because at the very end of last episode, Tokiyami, in his taxi, was wondering about Hawks. And then we get right back into that mindset as soon as we start this episode. I wonder if that's a comfortable ride.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's snug. You know,
Sounds
like
suffocating. Sounds like claustrophobic.
You know those shoes that fit around all your toes?
Ugh.
That
Yes.
like we wouldn't wear because they're weird. That's what it feels like, I imagine. Like around your whole body.
Ugh. Like a sleeping bag that's a little too tight. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, me too. Oh shit. I thought he got away.
Oh no.
You see, like, he's holding the Endeavor stuffed animal. I know he's always looked up to him, but has to be a parallel with Dobby. Who is he talking to? Endeavor.
That worries me. That shot worried me.
Yeah.
It's like they're about to get ready to actually fight back.
Inheritance could be Shigaraki inheriting Gigantamakia from All for One, right?
Shigaraki's totally about to wake up.
Yeah, agreed. Good line. Come on, Mirko.
Woo! She's so fun to watch.
The choreography she has.
They're getting stronger and more stable, right? Mm-hmm. No choice. Wow.
Oh!
Oh!
Looked like her heel too, right?
Look at her side. Gosh. Through her leg!
Nice!
Oh!
Okay.
Great timing!
Oh! That was a great shot, but Mirko looks
Really beat up.
devastated.
Yep. Straight toward the goal. Were those like tendons?
Oh! Their intelligence and deduction is nuts for being Nomu, dude. Like...
I don't like the intelligence there.
The deductive reasoning of a Nomu.
Yep.
Whoa.
Wow. No. Oh!
Oh!
So what does this do to Shigaraki at only 74%?
I'd assume he's 75% full
Done?
power, you know? Oh!
Dang. I also never thought about the fact that he could cauterize wounds. Oh no.
I hate the consciousness of them.
And they have a consciousness about becoming a high end. Shoot.
Oh. Don't get me wrong, it was a cool shot, Mike, but...
Is that really...
No.
Is it really gonna be okay?
I'm sorry, man, but it's happening, right?
Oh, don't leave this nameless guy with Shigaraki.
Is that the quirk singularity thing? Yeah. In exchange for athletic ability? They wanted erasure.
Is this like inside his mind?
It's like a domain expansion. Oh. Blue hair now. It's
Is
such
he waking him up? Is All For One like actually like waking him up right now?
It's like it's such a parallel to Deku and him awakening his quirks.
Run.
Ron is right. Oh my god.
Electricity. Wasn't electricity what was needed?
Can you say Ron? Okay, that was My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 4. Okay. Shigaraki apparently has all for one. That's sweet. Awesome. Good news. Looking forward to the future.
Kind of still hazy in terms of when that was given to him and when he will have full use of it or be able to use it.
Well, if the doctor knows about it, this whole process with either giving it to him or it was before the process even started.
Maybe it was given to him and then this whole process of putting him in that chamber and the doctor doing this was to prepare his body for use of
it.
All for One.
Wow. That whole last, I guess, quarter or fifth of an episode where we got to see inside of Shigaraki's head was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Like,
it's still to him in his like deep inside consciousness, the villain to him is still his father. He still seems to look at his sister and his mom and his grandparents and even the grandmother that he didn't really know about until the end in some favorable light, but not enough to not walk away from them.
yeah.
And he kept saying, don't reject me anymore. And I think what I took from that was like, don't reject the real me anymore. Like, you want me to be something that I'm not.
Yeah. But he's also just been rejected from being anything, really. I mean, like, I don't know. He's lived a very tragic life. And like we've talked about it, and they have as well. Like if one hand that reached out was different, you know, if the hand that All for One reached out was done by a hero, things could be different. But man, it is heartbreaking to see all of the hands that Tomura usually wears as part of his villain outfit actually be
Are those
visualized.
the real locations?
Hmm?
Are those around the real locations that he wears them?
Everywhere except the back of the head, I'm unsure. But everywhere else, yes. But to actually see it realized in full, where you can see all of the family members in frame 2 reaching out, is honestly heartbreaking. It's really something.
And the father's hand is the one right over his face.
And it looked like that was the one that turned into Nana Shimura. And God, doesn't Shigaraki look somewhat similar to Deku as a kid? When you get like the vision of Shigaraki looking at
the excited eyes, the blushy face, but the big there's some emotional.
The excitement,
kind of,
the hope, and just seeing
but also it fits with like how big Deku's eyes were in that one crying scene that they always love to show us. That's like looks like he's like a broken child.
Or how big they are when him and Bakugo opened up the All Might cards, and it's gorgeous and
sad.
It's sad. Like the parallels with One for All and Midoriya and what's going on inside of his head, you know. When
he goes unconscious or goes to sleep, he's now meeting with all of the successors. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me at first that possibly All for One could wake up Shigaraki. But I guess that's not truly what's happening here. What I believe is happening is some connection to electricity because of the wire that's been cut.
And it was like a defibrillator.
That's what woke him
and like shocked him. That was what it looked like. It looked like some wiring had a spark and it acted as like a defibrillator and woke him up, which is very unlucky. That's a shame. That sucks.
Yeah, and I knew as soon as President Mike left this hero that we don't really know hey, you take care of Shigaraki over there. You take care of that guy. As soon as President Mike left, I was like, oh.
I understand why he did it. I get it. But it's so funny in a way to think about it. Like, you watch him. Like,
was President Mike's decision there possibly slightly blinded by his own anger toward this person being the one that created a Nomu out of his friend's body.
Yeah, but he was also trying to save his teammates then by doing that. He was trying to shut off the Nomus, right?
Yeah.
Like, you knew it was gonna happen. What, like, regardless of how we got there, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, we knew Shigaraki was gonna wake up.
We said it in the intro before we started watching that we were like, oh.
Well, even if it wasn't this episode, I mean,
It was
like,
gonna happen.
There is no reality I am living in that the heroes completely succeed here. And the idea of Shigaraki that's been planted since season 1 and very early on being the, like, powered up more and being the main
successor
villain.
to All for One.
Yeah, it just ends here without it. Like,
you couldn't see the heroes just completely annihilating this paranormal liberation front and then going home and then the League of Villains starting to plot again about rebuilding. Like, that didn't feel like that was going to be happening. There needed to be an actual fight.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're just going for it. I'm excited to see where that comes. But if you would, could we start going through the episode so I can hit on some points that I wrote down?
Definitely.
Fat Taxi. That is way better than Uber. And
possibly.
Fat Goober?
I mean, the conversations would be nice, but I don't think the claustrophobia would be, like, my favorite thing ever.
But it looks like you can, like, bring friends, too, right?
Right. Yes. Friendship is great.
You don't think it'd be comfy?
I feel like I would need to stretch my legs out. I mean, maybe maybe you can move around in it. Maybe you could stretch.
Okay. Kaminari, Mudman, they're fine. Tokiyami has, like, a zipper, like, right behind him.
Yeah,
like,
doesn't the zipper hurt him?
Maybe it's, like, a special kind of zipper that we've designed in the lab to help us.
Like a really soft one.
Yeah.
Elastic zipper.
I didn't realize, because I'm stupid, that Hawks didn't get away after killing twice.
Yeah.
That came a bit as a surprise to me, which is kind of weird, because of course it was a possibility. But it sucks. And part of me hopes that he didn't die here and that Tokiyami had the monologue in the beginning of the episode because he came back and saved him.
I mean, it feels hard to... I mean, Tokoyami not only ended the episode before this wondering what Hawks was up to, and then Hawks was the one to basically take down the one character that is just beloved by all. Even a hero could become friends with Twice and want to redeem and save Twice. Yeah. That's how great Twice is, or was.
So do you think that that Dobby killed Hawks here?
I find it hard to believe.
We saw
Well,
Twice
actually,
bloody,
no, I changed my mind.
You think it did?
I changed my mind. Dobby said Dobby's name. Hawks had to die. It seemed like Dobby said who Dobby is.
That's what I thought too, but then we had like him talking after that too.
Yeah, but there was a silent part, and then we were allowed to hear what he was saying. He goes, it literally went, Hawks saying, who are you? And then him saying something we couldn't hear, and then going into his spiel.
Yeah, agreed.
So
no, I agree with you. And
Hawks has to die, right? We can't just let the one character that knows who Dobby is get away and survive and tell everyone.
Can I just write hold on 1 second. Go on. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying that it feels like this was the send off for Hawks. Like, you get to learn before you die this one piece of information that all of the viewers are wondering, and none of the heroes have been able to figure out who Dobby is and who Shigaraki was. And Dobby says, I'm guessing his name.
Can we just go write Toya on the screen and the subtitles for Dobby? Can we just go up there and paste
come
little...
on. And then you said it during the episode. Yeah. The parallel of having Hawks and Dobby near each other in any sort of context, with Hawks having this love for Endeavor, Endeavor's his favorite hero. When he was a kid, he was holding a doll of Endeavor and thought of Endeavor as like a true hero.
Yeah.
But Dobby's on the side of hero killer Stain, who also looked down on Endeavor.
You know what I hope? I hope nobody's upset that they might have figured it out, because I like it's so there for me, but it's so good. Like, there's so much motivation there. There's so much, like, everything makes sense, and it's written and put into place so well.
If it wasn't true, I think I don't know. I don't want to say like we might be a little let down about it not being true.
I feel like I wouldn't believe that it wasn't
but
true.
I wouldn't. Exactly. I
Yeah.
think that's more the energy that I'm getting at, is I would be kind of in disbelief if the character themselves told me a different name. I'd be like, wait. Say that again, Dobby? What'd you say your name was? No, I think you're mistaken.
But I think it's so well done. He
has a fascination with real names, too.
Imagine how awesome it's going to be when and how he chooses to, like, go about revealing it. If it's a final fight with Todoroki, a final fight with Endeavor. Like, it's so well written in my mind. Like, it's awesome.
How does Dobby know Hawks' real name?
I have to believe it's whether he has intelligence himself somehow, or learned it before he was quote unquote killed.
They seem around the same age.
Maybe. It's hard to tell for me.
I mean, I believe that if we're saying this is Toya,
yeah,
I believe Toya was like between the two older siblings and Todoroki. Like,
I'm not sure.
I think he might have been between there, and I would guess probably, I think Hawks is around like 18 to 20. Because I know he, like, right after he graduated,
he was like the youngest.
Made his own agency. Yeah. So I believe he's early 20s maybe, and I feel like that fits.
I wish we watched this whole show on the channel, so I would have had my notes for that. But
gosh, if this doesn't end up being like, I feel like for him to know Hawks' name, he either had to know Hawks as a child, like they personally knew each other, or he learned it from Endeavor, if Endeavor is his father. Because I don't think I would love if it was from counterintelligence, that the League figured out his name.
Well, we don't know what Dobby was doing, right? Like, Dobby obviously was doing something in the time period of dying, and then after Stain came out and seemingly motivated Dobby to join the League in the beginning of season 3. Like, he must have been doing something, whether that was like hiding the whole time, or like being like spy. I don't know. I would like it to have been from their past kind of thing.
I mean, they're a matchup in all senses. They're if he is Todoroki Toya, then of course he has this hatred toward Endeavor, and Hawks has this love and praise for Endeavor. Looks very highly on him, and then they're both kind of possibly around the same age, and their fire and the fierce wings matchup being horrible it seems so spot on that if any of it's wrong, that'll probably be surprising to me.
Dobby looks to Stain seemingly with admiration, so when I first watched this whole Stain episode thing, I was like, I watched it like 5 times over, and then I watched reactions to it, and I was watching Blind Wave's reaction, and one of them, I can't remember who said it, when they first were watching the interaction between Stain and then when Endeavor like showed up, one of them had thought like, oh, did they have a past? Was there like some history between Endeavor and Stain? Does Stain have a scar under his mask or something? Like on those lines of thinking. And I think that it's interesting that no, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but it finds a way of looping back here in the sense that Stain had a reaction to Endeavor, and it was big about the kind of hero Endeavor was, and potentially Endeavor's son, who is still alive, who he thought died, idolizes this person who hated him. It's cool.
I feel like Hero Killer Stain rattled all of the heroes, but I can imagine it rattling Hawks in terms of like he didn't look up to All Might. All other heroes seem to look toward All Might, and even Endeavor himself looks toward All Might as this shining light example, symbol of peace. But Hawks doesn't. He just looks at Endeavor. And so I feel like for the hero killer to not put Endeavor up there as an impressive hero and one worth, I guess, the name of hero, probably pissed him off.
God, if that does, in my mind, it's like 95% sure. I could totally see a story written from that perspective of Dabi. Like that's like, it has so many layers in itself. Like, it's so cool. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. I'm always loving when they do stuff with that.
But I guess the roundabout to like circle back to like, I guess the biggest point of all of that is, it's kind of the perfect circumstance, unfortunately, to kill Hawks.
You are right.
So.
I don't know if I think he's dead. We saw Twice bloodied on the ground, and I still was trying to convince myself he was dead all the way. I don't think he's dead at the moment. I think he could be dead.
I'm worried about it.
I am very worried about it.
I could see him not being dead, and I could be totally happy with that. I mean, I would be happy with that. And I could also see that being a very prominent, big goodbye moment.
You know what? I changed my mind. He's dead. I think if he wasn't dead, and he did tell his name to Hawks, it would do a disservice to the reveal of him being Endeavor's son.
I don't want to learn from Hawks.
Agreed.
That he's Toya. I want to learn
from Toya.
I want to learn from like one of the other members of the Todoroki family learning that he's Toya.
That's what I mean. Like, I want like Toya
in front of Endeavor, or like...
Correct. Yeah.
That's how I want to learn that information.
Yes. Granted, it could be like, oh, Hawks and Endeavor have been building up this relationship. They trust each other, but is Endeavor going to trust like this crazy
and Hawks
statement?
kind of like another son to Endeavor, and that kind of feeling you get about him.
I don't know. At the moment, I'm leaning towards dead now. Yeah. Okay. Mirko fighting. Dude, Mirko's choreography. Her fights are so fun to watch.
Fun.
I'm able to follow her around too with all like her looping and jumps.
But she is horribly injured. I don't think dead necessarily, but maybe never working again as a hero.
She is horribly injured and had her wounds cauterized by Endeavor, which is metal as fuck, and I love it.
I know.
She didn't even she was like, okay, next.
Like, honestly, it is kind of beneficial to have Endeavor there if you did have injured people. Because he could immediately, one of the things that kills people, I know nothing about like medical anything, but I do believe that infections are basically the major killer, and or bleeding out. But if you can keep those wounds from getting infected, and you can cauterize them and stop the bleeding and all that, then the chances of survival are higher.
Stopping the bleeding definitely helps people live. I'm confident in saying that. Yeah.
I know very little about anything medical.
You want to know what my favorite part about Mirko this episode was?
What?
Surprisingly enough, it wasn't just her appearance.
She just fought awesome. It was amazing to watch her. But what was the thing?
Survival instinct.
She was like, this is one of the biggest parts of a rabbit, like one of the best traits of a rabbit, and that is really true.
That was so cool for me, and it not only does such a compliment to her character and brings the whole fact that this is her quirk all into one nice neat little package that I absolutely adore, but it also gives me a scale of how violent Shigaraki is before he's unleashed. Right when that happened, I'm like, oh, fuck. Mirko knows Endeavor's there. Mirko knows fucking Eraserhead's there. But to still feel this survival instinct fear, I need to kill this now.
I think Mirko knew that the time was not on their side. And even if she waited for the reinforcements, that could be too late. And honestly, I think we should start a petition that Mirko should join Tokyo Mew Mew.
Yeah.
Yeah, the survival instincts on that one, a rabbit Mew Mew.
Yeah. Yes. That's a deep cut.
Mirko, Tokyo Mew Mew, remix. Spin-off show.
Cauterize Runes, DJ Punch. Mike had a DJ Punch that was very similar to Regan Arataka's Salt Punch.
Yes.
I'd like to think that they're in the same universe somehow.
I was pretty impressed with Present Mike and his entrance in this episode.
Yes, I was. I'm very conflicted with what they're doing with his character because they're giving him a lot of feelings and they're real feelings.
And you don't know how you feel about that? Like giving him feelings?
I feel like I don't think that the show would I don't think it would be a detriment to the show to show Present Mike a little bit more. I think that it makes more sense we see more Racerhead than him, but with how much of a, I guess, reason he has to fight here, same as Racerhead's, I love him as a character and he has a lot of potential. And obviously we had an amazing episode with him. What was it, last season when we had the interrogation of Kurogiri and it was their friend.
That's why this felt emotional for him to be able to kind of do something in order to apprehending the subject of his anger.
Yeah. I almost thought they were going to do something with that. Yeah. I'm not upset by any means. But
instead they're having him carry him away.
Well, no, I mean, I thought that he might have, threatened to kill the doctor or something.
Just killed him outright. Ooh, I could have, that could have been something.
Or, needed just, almost had a lapse because of, how much reason he has to be, pissed,
What he's saying as he's carrying the doctor and walking away is basically that he's disgusted to be touching this person. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Those were some pretty good lines he was saying there about how revolting the doctor was and he didn't even want to be touching him.
He had the same kind of disgust in him last season with that, and I like it. I think it's a really interesting edge on his character, and I kind of want to see it just a little bit more.
He also learned something in that conversation.
Oh my God.
That would definitely not just go away. This is going to be something that stays as a theme, I think.
This was almost more surprising to me than Tomura getting all for one. For some reason, the idea of them purposefully going after a Racerhead and then killing his friend instead, I thought that they were just getting oh, this is a dead body of a dude with a quirk. Let's use it,
But instead, was it all an elaborate scheme of, oh, we wanted to get Eraserhead, we couldn't, we have this boy and this body, but we also know that this could possibly create some emotional vulnerability that we could still get Eraserhead.
Maybe, but it really is a scary concept that they've been able to have such good intelligence into young UA students before they're professional heroes and try to seek them out and kill them to be turned into these things for their own gain. That's insane. I thought they happened upon it, or just oh, you're a doctor, you got a dead body or whatever. Oh, this body was about to die, it came into the hospital, I'm going to say that they're dead and actually turn them into a Nomu. No, they coordinated this whole thing.
I believe that they have told us that some of the other high ends were either villains or someone who didn't work as a hero.
Their personalities transfer over.
Yes. But I believe that I would not be surprised if some of the other Nomus that were still fighting, that are still there and or more in the future, if there are more hidden, for that, I feel like it's weird to have only one that was from a UA hero student that was killed. I feel like there has to be either some other quirks that have been stolen that we learn about, or some high-end Nomu that has the personality of another hero.
Well, I hope that no other UA students were killed in the past.
Yeah.
But I'm also thankful that Overhaul's whole shtick was getting rid of quirks and not stealing them, because imagining a Nomu with permeation would be absolutely horrifying. That would be devastating. To see an enemy with permeation, that would have... that would not have ended well for us.
There's a lot of quirks that I can think of that I'm thank goodness they haven't stolen that quirk.
Yeah. That was a powerful episode. I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan. I really, it was the ending for me that really like took it above and beyond. Might have been my favorite episode of this season, just because we're like really ramping it up
It's
and
so
a lot
crazy
of Shigaraki.
It's so crazy to go right into like so much intense action and
weird.
actual like life or death fight
Yeah.
right at the beginning of the season. I'm like, where is the rest of the season gonna go if we're already like...
There's like usually 25 episodes a season. Usually that's split up in between like two arcs and then like fun episodes in between.
And normally some of those fun episodes are like right at the beginning.
I mean, hell, last season we got episodes like dedicated to a whole different kind of arc, like a whole My Villain Academia, and now all of them are, you know, merged together. It's gonna be interesting. Where are we gonna go?
Where are we gonna go?
Is it 25 episodes like all at once? Like, are we gonna be watching this for the next...
I'm not sure, because I know some
20 weeks?
seasons of some animes are doing the whole 12 and 12 thing. Like Spy Family.
Yeah.
I have no clue with My Hero.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
excited
know
for
either.
it, though.
I am too.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.